Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the Form 10Q that was released and filed by ZNOG'S, ticker symbol ZNOG. We're going to talk more or less about what a Form 10Q is. Okay, then not necessarily go through and dig into all this. It's a lot of the same information that was in the last one. We'll kind of run through what a 10Q is, and then we'll go through this 10Q just to kind of show basically the people who have never seen one of these before what's actually in the Form 10Q. Okay, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts on it. We'll take a look. We're not going to look fully into detail on the charts because it really hadn't changed much, but we will take a look at the price as of today. Okay, so what is a Form 10Q? It says the SEC Form 10Q is a comprehensive report of financial performance that must be submitted quarterly by all public companies to the Securities and Exchange Commission. In the 10Q, firms are required to disclose relevant information regarding their finances as a result of their business operations. The 10Q is generally an unaudited report. A 10Q must be filed for each of the first 3 quarters of the company's fiscal year. And these are some key takeaways about what this article is going to say. And I'm going to link this in the description below if you guys want to go look kind of further into detail on this. And this is off of Investopedia.com. But the SEC Form 10Q, like it says, it's a comprehensive report of financial performance submitted quarterly by all public companies to the Securities and Exchange Commission. Form 10Q contains financial statements, management discussion and analysis, disclosures, and internal controls for the previous quarter. Companies must file their 10Qs 40 or 45 days after the end of their quarters, depending on the size of their public float. A snapshot of the company's financial position. Form 10Q provides investors with information they can compare to previous periods and use to evaluate the outlook of that stock's performance. And then Form 10Q is not an audited statement, unlike the annual Form 10K companies are also required to file. So that's kind of just a little bit about what that 10Q is. So let's look at ZNOG'S, and I just kind of want to run through it. And then we'll stop and look at a couple of sections of it, and then we'll look at the price for today, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts moving forward. So taking a look at ZNOG'S 10Q, and this is going to be linked in the description below as well. Okay, and this one, guys, if you haven't seen any of these before, I mean, this is going to be pretty similar to the last one that we looked at, and you can look back on my channel that we actually reviewed the last time they filed this as well. I think we did. I at least remember reading this. But here's the table of contents, or index page, whatever you want to call it. Okay, it tells you what's going to be inside this document. Okay, and it goes down. It talks about legal proceedings, risk factors, other information, controls and procedures, consolidated condensed financial statements. So you got all the things that we talked about on the previous page. That's what you'll see here. So it goes over the condensed balance sheet. It'll show you the total current assets here, and this is in the thousands. So like whatever you see here, you times it by 1,000 to get that actual number. And this is as of December 2021. So total current assets was 8641, and then over here in 2022 is 9082. And then again, you just multiply that by 1,000 to get the actual number. And then total current liabilities will be down here. As you see, the liabilities went down from December, so that's a good thing as well. So that's good, and you can kind of go through all the rest of it. I'm not going to go and like dig into all the financials or anything like that, but we're going to keep going down and down and down. You'll see a bunch of financials, and then eventually you'll run into, I believe, the shareholder. We'll talk about the shares, nature of operations. Okay, this will be first. So they basically give you kind of a history of ZNOG'S here. They'll talk about it's a ZNOG'S, a Delaware company, oil exploration company with a history of 22 years in the oil and gas exploration in Israel. This is as of June 30th, 2022. Company has no revenues from its oil and gas operations. So it kind of just goes through sort of the history of not the full history, but just kind of gives you a brief summary of what's happening, going on. And then here, I believe it talks about the license. So it says the Magedo Jezreel License 401 was awarded on December 3rd, 2013 for a 3-year primary term through December 2nd, 2016, with the possibility of an additional 1-year extension up to a maximum of 7 years. The MJ License 401 lies onshore, south and west of the Sea of Galilee, and we continue to explore our focus here based on studies that it appears to possess the key geological ingredients of an active petroleum system with significant exploration potential. And then it gets kind of more into more detailed here as it talks about all their extensions they had. So it says on December 3rd, 2020, they had a 6-month extension. Then on April 29th, 2021, Zion submitted a request for another 6-month extension to December 2nd. Then on May 30th, they approved the request for extension to December 2nd, 2021. As you see, it's just continuously extending. They don't say anything about that 3-year extension that they talked about in one of their updates. They have not a peep in this document about that 3 years. So it talks about the basis of presentation. It goes into going concern, which is obviously going to be finances, because they don't have any revenues yet, right? So we're pretty much the only people who's funding this operation, investors. So regardless of where they're getting their money from, which investors, that's what's funding this operation. So that's obviously a growing concern. This was the same thing that was said in the previous one as well. But you can, I'll just kind of scroll through. You can see they have all different kinds of information that you can look. They talk about the warrants. They talk about, drilling rig and related equipment. And then it goes down and gives some more information here. So you can kind of go through this, guys. I'm not going to read through this again because the last video I made, like I said, on the 10Q, was a lot of the same information that is pretty much in this one here. But I'm kind of making this one for newer people who aren't familiar with this. This is kind of the gist of what they filed here. And again, this is an unaudited report. Okay, so let's take a look really quick at what it did today. So Zion was down almost 2% on the day. As you look at this, this is crazy. This chart's so funny looking at the OTC stocks. They're just like all over the place. The 5-day we're down about 5%. The 1 month we're down about 3%. In the last 6 months, we're still up 120%. Year to date, up about 51%. In the past year, we're down 20%. It kind of just basically stalling out where we are now, just because we're waiting on, news. Of course, it seems like we say that every single time I make a video because we're still waiting on the same thing. So, what's my plan moving forward? I haven't bought in a couple of weeks. Not going to buy anything. Basically, my rule of thumb is they get more from me when I get more from them. Haven't heard anything that basically we're waiting. We're waiting on some type of clarification on, did you guys, did you complete testing? What did the testing show? What's the next steps? And give us something more than what you've been giving us, because every single person that is either following the stock, invested in the stock, whatever, is waiting on one thing, and they're not waiting on a Form 10Q. This is not the big thing that we were waiting on, right? So it's, that's my motto, is they won't get anything more out of me until I get something more out of them, and I mean more transparency. And when that happens, and if it's positive, then obviously I can put some more money into it with confidence that it's going to go up. But until then, just hanging out and holding what I have, and we'll just kind of go from there. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you in this video. Let me know in the comments below. Other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.